Welcome to my delusion.
You've made it. The world is quiet now, and it's just us. Welcome to the Savon Experience Pillow Talk Solo Edition. Your safe space to reflect, exhale, and get real. I'm your host, Savon, and tonight we're diving deep. So get comfortable, take a breath, and let's talk.
Every week I'm pulling up with the real solo. No guests, no edits, just you, me, and the truth. So go ahead, get comfortable. You're tuned into the Savon Experience. Pillow Talk Solo Edition. Let's talk.
Ooh, well, happy evening, and we're back for episode 2. I hope your week has been well. I hope your week has been deserved. And if you've been an asshole, I hope it's been well deserved. Just what I'm saying. We're going to continue our conversation from the last episode. So welcome back to the Savon Experience Pillow Talk Solo Edition. Tonight, as I stated, we're continuing our conversation on grace, but this time we focus on one of the most powerful forms of grace: silence. Because sometimes no response is the clearest message you can send, and often it's the one that protects you and most of your peace. Sometimes we feel like we gotta always say something. We gotta have the last word. Bitch, I said what I said and you ain't gonna get the last word on me, and that's not always the best approach. It don't always render the results that you thought you was gonna get. It just keeps adding fuel to the fire, and oftentimes keep the players engaged. I hope you got your libation, honey. Mine is in a tumbler tonight because I need my water. Because see, the last time y'all had me on here, and my edges was real rough from when I worked out, and I had to straighten it. The members know what I'm talking about because we had a little chit chat after the episode. We sure did. So listen, staying on topic, we live in a world of clapbacks, of screenshots, subtweets, and instant reactions. But not every moment deserves your energy. Not every attack deserves your explanation. Sometimes silence is the most dignified answer you can give. And also, checkmate when you're in an argument. Argue with yourself, because I ain't saying shit else. Now, that takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of power to hold your tongue. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of strategy. Not every time there's an issue, you have to say something. I tell my friends and close coworkers, etc., I was like, listen, I get that person, your boss, that customer, your family member, your ex, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, whomever, you might have some shit you want to say. Just call me. Call me and say everything you want to say to them. Tell them you want a dog shit walk the fuck out of them. Okay? Tell it to me, though. Call your friend. Call your support system. Call your Judy. And let them know, listen, I got to get this shit off my chest. That way, when you back in front of the player, your opposition, the ops, as you young folks will say, you keeping the advantage. You're controlling the conversation, because if there isn't a response, it ain't no fucking conversation to be had. And not every clapback is going to get you the win. It's not. So responding can actually feed the fire. And one thing that I have kept as a reference point in my mind throughout all these years is be careful of the fires that you start, because you cannot control how they burn. Ask any fireman. Ask anybody who fought wildfires. Ask anybody who started some beef and then several months into it was like, I should have kept my motherfucking mouth shut. Because now, baby, you got some people you beefing for life. And you're just feeding the fire. You're continuing to keep that action. You playing tennis with them. And although sometimes that can be fun and strategic when you are set and clocked into your petty, it is not always the resolution that you want. Because, baby, you got to pay for the long game when you do that. Silence is the most dignified answer you can give. Because you ain't said shit. You ain't acknowledging that they said shit. And if they right there in front of you looking straight through them like, baby, they Casper the unfriendly ass ghost, bitch, I don't see you. Poof. Silence. Silence. So the next time when you engage with the mess, you validate it, right? Because you're engaging. You're having dialogue, that banter back and forth. You're responding. Okay? That means you're interested. That also shows that whatever they've said and they've done, it stirred you up in some type of way. Because now you like, oh shit, now bitch, now what you, and you don't need all that. No response says, I don't owe you my energy. I don't owe you that energy. I value my peace more than this moment that you're trying to have. More this viral moment or these subtweets and stuff you try to have in front of everybody else. No. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Grace doesn't always look like kindness. Sometimes it looks like walking away. And you know what? I'll tell you something that my partner told me. My fiance said, sometimes walking away is to put that bitch in a lock hold, or what is it, a choke hold, honey, and put that bitch to sleep and then walk away. That'll keep you from hurting them. It's going to keep you from getting arrested, and it's going to keep you safe. And I tell you what, that is probably the best advice that someone can give, honey. Walking away don't mean you scary. It don't mean you weak. It don't mean you simple. It don't mean any of those things. Because oftentimes people who want to play back and forth, they ain't got shit to lose. And if you got something to lose, one little misstep is going to cost you everything. And they ain't got shit to lose, so we ain't costing them shit. So who's losing in that situation? Who's losing in that arena? It ain't you. Excuse me. I mean, it ain't them, because they ain't got shit. It could be you if you have shit. So oftentimes, you ever met those people? Let's talk to the church folks for a second. You ever meet somebody? Oh, they are so sweet. Oh, mother is this. Oh, she always got candy. She's praying for me. She's so patient. Don't nothing get mother riled up. Don't nothing get Deke disturbed. Like, none of that. They just always so calm, cool, and collected. And so some people take that as a weakness, but they don't understand that this person has a past. And so they're being strategic in their approach and response to you. They're not letting you know that it riles them up, because they know that gives you the energy, or the enemy the energy is what they say. They call it the enemy the energy. So why give it to them? And they prayed up because they have been praying themselves out of a situation and out of a past for so long. Like, bitch, if I tap back into that energy, I'm gonna fuck you up, is probably the energy they're gonna have. So what they say, the quiet ones and those that's been praying, those are probably the ones that you shouldn't be fucking with. In last week's episode, or the last episode, I said you need to take into consideration a couple of things. You don't know what they're going through. It may not even be about you. You don't know where they sitting right now, and you could be the person to fuck around and find out. What you did may be so minuscule in the biggest picture, but you are the straw that broke the camel's back. So now you getting all that rage. And is that fair? No, it's not. Is it right? No, but you don't know what you're stepping into. And you might think you Billy badass bitch, but you just don't know they better. You know what I'm saying? Like every boxer and every fighter that has gone into the ring, yeah, they have become the undefeated, the undisputed champion for so long. And then after a while, somebody comes who's bigger and better and greater. Doesn't mean they still not any less dangerous at all. But they ain't the best. There's always something or someone that's going to be better than you, going to top you, that's going to be, ooh, come on, bottoms, that's going to top you, that's going to be greater than you. So, you know, and that's in any lane that you are in. Any lane. So responding to that mess can feed the fire because you're engaging the mess. You're validating the mess. You're responding, and that response says, I got time today. You might want them to know you got time today, or, bitch, I'm just on this emotional roller coaster with you. Shouts out to Vivian Green. So the control is in the stillness. Give me 1 second. I thought I had put that on silence. And apparently I didn't. So let me do that right now. Because that's so rude and ghetto. But what did we say? Unfiltered, unedited, just the real. So back to my point. The control of stillness. Silence is control. Not everyone deserves a seat at the table of your emotions. So when you don't respond, you choose intention over impulse. Let that sit in for a second, because that's the real power. When you don't respond, it is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of great strength. And if we go biblical, it says only a wise man can control his tongue. So what does that mean? Shut the fuck up. Having the control to be quiet and let that person think they have the advantage over you. Sometimes it's the greatest skill. It's also checkmate because they don't know. They do all that damn talking. What you talking for? And silence can also be protection. Your peace is sacred. Your growth is private. Your peace is sacred and your growth is private. I wish I came up with that on my own, but I didn't. Somebody told me that shit a long time ago. Because, you know, I have a village of people that keeps me humble because I used to be a hothead. I would cuss you out at the drop of the dime and didn't give a fuck. But I also, during that time, didn't have shit to lose. And so a lot of you have met me in a moment where I am PC, politically correct. I'm a Libra. So with that, I am always acknowledging someone's feelings, sometimes absorbing the energy in the room. And some can think that I'm constantly, some say straddle the fence. I'm not straddling the fence, but I'm constantly aware of all sides. And I'm trying to make sure that my peace is protected, that my surroundings aren't just in complete chaos. You have to understand that you don't owe people access to your process or your healing or your truth. You don't owe them that. You don't owe them shit. So in an instance like this, let me tell you how I can bridge that together. So in an instance like this, let's say that person is having a bad day and they spoke to you and you didn't speak back. Because most likely in that moment, you could have been having a real fucked up day. And you are focusing on your mental strength and your mental ability to overcome the obstacles that you faced. You know, you're trying to make sure that you're not cussing a mofo out. You're trying to make sure that you're not saying some shit inappropriate to your colleagues or to your customer or to your target audience, like whatever your area of life is where you make your money, like you trying to show that growth. So sometimes being quiet is just like, listen, if I open up my mouth is going to say some shit that maybe you don't even deserve. So when you take that response as, oh my God, this bitch was trying to be like, that bitch heard me speak to them and then say shit, like it was rude as fuck. You don't know if it was rude or if it was a blessing. Was it rude? Or was it a blessing? Or were they practicing control and stillness because like they may have said something fucked up to you and you didn't even deserve any of that. You didn't sow into that harvest at all. So you got to understand giving grace and not being judgmental. And in those moments where somebody says something fucked up and you ain't responded, and they've not responded to you, that doesn't mean they being rude. Or if you in a situation you talking and they are the antagonist, bitch, you ain't gotta say shit. Block them. Don't respond to that text. Just like exes. It's funny how when you break up with the ex, like you're in a situation, you were really in the relationship and you wanted the attention, so you did everything. You went above and beyond to make sure that person understood your worth, knew your value, knew that you were all hands and toes in. You were on board to making sure that relationship was successful, but they never really gave you what you felt like was your fair share of, hey, I appreciate that, right? Acknowledging that you were all in. But then all of a sudden, when you fed up, tired, and ready to go, you ain't got shit else to say. It's amazing how that phone get blown up. They call you, they're acknowledging your feelings. Hey, you want to do this? You want to? Yeah. So they are aware. But you've taken your power back and they don't understand what your process is right now because now you're moving differently. You're not saying shit. You're not saying a damn thing. And they're not used to that because you usually are responsive. And sometimes going back and forth, know that you're constantly engaged. And when you're not and you're silent, they're like, oh shit, I'm losing it. I don't. And then they switch up to get you back, to regain your trust, to bring you back into the loop. And sometimes they'll fix the situation. And sometimes it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. And I know we all like a little toxicity sometimes. I know I do. I'm going to be honest about that. I know I do. Sometimes it makes the moment, the relationship just a bit hotter, make them a little bit, I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect at all. But your silence isn't weakness. It's your protection. Your peace is sacred and you don't owe them any access to you. And your growth is private. That's between you and your maker or your therapist or your bestie. Or the ghost in your house, or your dogs, because they see the real us. So when you don't engage, you ultimately disarm them. Silence is disarming. Disarming. Silence is disarming. Repeat that. Silence is disarming. It strips drama of its oxygen. Can't breathe. Can't survive. It strips the fire of oxygen. And we know fire needs oxygen, right? It strips it. It leaves egos standing alone in their own noise by themselves, playing the tiniest fiddle or the world's smallest violin by themselves. Oh, poor little ting ting. So the things that you've got to remember is that your energy and your time is the most precious thing that you have because you don't get time back. And a lot of times your efforts doesn't reciprocate the energy that you put into it at all. So not saying shit can actually can disarm and actually shake them more than any words that you could ever say. And I learned it a long time ago. There was a guy that I'm not gonna say dating, but early 20s. And he was in the service. He had been chasing me for years, and I've been chasing his ass for years too. So let me be very clear. We had been chasing each other for years. Years. But it always seemed like as soon as I would give in, because I would play hard to get. I would play like, no, I'm not interested. I'm busy. Because it seems like when you shift the powers, like with energy, it's like the yin and yang. Like it's always a plus and minus to things to keep things balanced. So, or it could be just a Libra me. Hell, I don't know. But it seems like once I was just like, oh, I'm not giving him all this energy because it's just not giving me what I want. I look like I'm needy. I'm looking like I'm begging, or like I'm just waiting for his beck and call. Oh my God, yes, you can come over anytime he had time. You know what I'm saying? Versus I'm busy because I didn't want to be busy. I want to see him. I'm trying to be honest about my feelings and be truthful and be with intention. But sometimes you can't do that. You have to leave a little mystery there. You have to. And then it will seem like he would be more engaging. Hey, what you doing? What you up to? Like my attention is somewhere else. It wasn't on him. And so it was somewhere else. So automatically he wanted. And that was toxic. But I liked it. I did. I'm not going to lie. I still do. Still do. I ain't going to lie. What am I lie for? Girl, still do. And you do too. If you listen to this, you getting something out of it. You like a little toxicity. Now, I realize that some of y'all may feel like this is a whole different side of me. You ain't seen this. I'm not PC. Listen, I'm tired. The world is changing and I have to change my approach. You have to see other sides of me, other facets of me. And I want to help myself and also help all of my viewers with, listen, this is the shit that I tell people in real life. My friends, people are close to me. Because people have poured into me. So now I have the obligation. Because when you are blessed, you have to bless. God blesses you, so you bless someone else. When I learned this shit, because somebody had to learn it, they had to share it with me. I'm gonna make sure I share it with you. That's how we keep this thing going. It ain't for me alone. Nothing. Opportunities, placement in your career. It's enough for everybody to eat. But some people, that's a whole nother episode. We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about the whole pulling people down, crab in a bucket type thing. But listen, when you don't engage, you disarm them. I want to stay on task. You disarm them. It strips the drama of its oxygen. It strips the fire of its oxygen. The flame can't keep going if you keep giving it oxygen. You keep blowing. You keep adding fuel to it. You keep adding coals. Let that bitch die out. Girl, now, unless you done had a week and that's what you want. That's what you need. But understand what I say earlier. Be careful of the fires that you start because you what? Can't control how they burn. Energy is currency. Someone told me that, or I read it somewhere. Been doing a lot of self-reflection. Energy is currency. And it's not free. Your time is not free. Your energy is not free. You can't get that shit back. So you have to deal with it just like money. I tell my friends all the time, when you meet somebody for the first time, stop giving them all that energy. Stop giving them all the credit. Think of it like a bank account. Think of it like a credit account, a credit situation, a crediting system. When a creditor meets you, and let's say you don't have a lot of credit, so they don't understand, they can't really tell how you pay and how you're responsible. Like if we give you $5,000, are you gonna give it back? Are you gonna pay on time? Or are we just out of that $5,000? Are you gonna be responsible with this credit card, this loan, this advancement? Like how do you move? So with people who have really good credit scores, they just kind of let their creditors know, hey, this person tends to follow the rules, if we give them set amount. They pay on time, or they pay in advance, or they pay early, they pay it off. They don't have a whole lot of, their ratios aren't high, meaning they don't go out there and max it out. And, they keep it kind of at a moderate rate where they can maintain it. It lets them know how you move financially. When you meet people, you don't know how the fuck they move. Some people go all in these friendships or relationships or even working. You don't know how them hoes move. So you ain't gotta go and give them your all. People go and give it your all. I don't know if my all is gonna get me the raise that I'm supposed to get, or if it's gonna get me the promotion I'm supposed to get. I just see how y'all hoes move. Like the interview, we all said some things to make us wanna join the gang, right? I don't know how you move, so I'm not giving you all that. So stop giving these people all that energy, especially when you first meet them. That's a whole other episode. So energy is currency. It's like money. It's like fine wine and time that you don't get back. And not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves access to your emotion. You don't deserve to be on a emotional ass roller coaster. However they feel is how they fucking feel. They ain't got shit to do with you. If you want to be the supporting actress or an actor in their series, be that. But know when you are just that, and know when to play that part, and then let them be the star, because you don't have to do all that, right? So energy is currency. Looking at my notes. Not everyone deserves access. Come on, camera. Get it right, camera. Oh, there we go. Not everyone deserves access to it. When you go quiet, you're investing in your future. You're saving in your strength for your purpose, not pettiness. And that's how grace moves. Now, I have to sit on that one because I ain't always, y'all know I can be petty, honey. We all can. But let me say it again because I think that was for me too. I wrote that down, but I ain't receive it. So energy is currency. Your energy is not free, and not everyone deserves access to it. When you go quiet, you're investing in your future. You're saving the strength. You're saving your strength for purpose, not pettiness. That's how grace moves. That's how moving with intention goes. So this week, let's reflect. Who's been poking at your peace? Ooh, Alexa. Who are you tempted to respond to right now? And what would happen if you chose silence instead? Think about it. Think about somebody who's poking at your peace, who's been fucking with you all day, all week, all month, all season. Who are you tempted to respond? And you just like, oh, I just want to respond right now. Just let them know. You just want to just give it. Right? But what would happen if you didn't? And I know some of you may think, oh, they're going to think I'm weak. They're going to think I'm... They might. But showing them you strong in what way? In what area? And then how is that going to help you? Now, if you got other things lined, if it's a job situation, you got other things lined up and you just want to burn that bridge. Okay, girl. Okay, sir. Okay, y'all do what y'all need to do. But sometimes you have to move smart, because even if you're not trying to go back into that situation, you never know how the players in that situation may advance your life in the next situation. So you still want to make sure that you have some sort of integrity and you're not just out here just vomiting responses out, regurgitating just all type of shit just because they deserve it. And I'm not going to say they don't, because sometimes they do deserve it. So this week, for the next few days, you run into a situation, try silence. Not aggressive, not passive aggressive, not the cold shoulder, but intentional stillness, complete blank face. Oh, I just didn't have a response. Let your lack of response and interest in that situation be the message. Focus on your growth. Or as Beyonce would say, let your paper be the best revenge, okay? That's what she said. Because, see, the lack of a response is the message, and it will speak for your boundaries. It's going to speak for your boundaries. If this spoke to you this week, share it. Send it to a friend. Send it to a foe. Hell, if you got somebody on mute right now, look around, everybody on mute. Beyonce. Send this shit to them. Well, if you do that, they're going to know that you got them on mute. You might not want to do it, but for my views, go on and send it to them anyway. Subscribe to the Savon Experience Pillow Talk. This is what it's about. New episodes drop Sundays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and they are available on all platforms, plus YouTube. Members get in early with unseen content, so membership has its privileges. And after every episode, I do have me a little 10-minute member moment or content for them. So, this has been the Savon Experience Pillow Talk, where judgment gets quiet and grace gets loud. Sometimes. Remember, not every thing or every situation requires a reaction. Not everyone deserves your response. Your silence, that actually may be the loudest, most graceful thing you ever say. Good night, y'all. Stay unbothered, bitch. Stay silent sometimes. Stay soft. And stay Savon. That's all I can tell you. It was fine, wasn't it? Ah!
Come slide into the quiet space where the moonlight touches grace. I'm speaking slow.
Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Remember, grace isn't just for others. It's for you too. Until next time. This has been the Savon Experience Pillow Talk Solo Edition. Be kind, be soft, be you.
No mask, no noise, just my truth in the dark. Laid back whispers straight from the heart. Let the world now come and walk this walk. You're deep inside the Savon Experience Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk.